Hello, my name's Chase Mangum, and I am with Chris Gordon on Hell Blazer Biz.
Hey everyone, all you Lethal Weapon fans, I have the honour and the privilege of the company of Chase Mangum today. Chase, hello.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm great, thanks. I appreciate you doing this and coming on the show.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for the invite. It's great.
No, it kind of makes sense that with Clay being on as Riggs, and we have his younger self on as well to have a chat and find out more about you as well, and where you want to go, and where just a little bit about you basically. And people have seen you and they love you on screen. So yeah, as you know, I've got a few questions, so we shall kick off with
of course, yeah.
and have a nice little conversation. So the first one's first. You actually come from a really solid acting family. Both your mum and your dad, both actors as well. Kind of what advice have they given along the way? I mean, imagine having a father as an actor and your mum as an actress and a casting director. I mean, I can imagine the advice is pretty cool.
Well, it's great because they help me so much with like the lines and like how to say it. It's awesome. Like when I got Lethal Weapon, we were watching it. My dad was like, "Yes, that's my son. Do it." My mom was like so emotional. She's like, "Please don't." But my dad was like, my dad was secretly like just he was excited. It's great seeing like your dad proud about what he does, and then you kind of like go in his footsteps about acting, which is awesome.
I can imagine. That's you know, I mean, your mum probably worried like, "Oh God, it's the big show," and you know, getting in.
I can sobbing. My dad's like, "Yes."
Well, yeah, I mean, I've got that. That was down there as well. It's like, what did it feel like when you actually landed that role of young Riggs?
Well, I was in the car coming home from school, and then my mom's like, "You got the audition," and then I just remember my face went pale. I just started screaming, and it was like it had to be one of like the best days of my life because Lethal Weapon is probably the biggest thing I've gotten acting wise. I just remember feeling so much excitement. The car almost crashed. I screamed so loud. It was something that like doesn't even exist, but it was like the happiest, most exciting day like, of my life. It was crazy. Could not stop smiling. It was amazing.
Excellent. Sorry, I when you said that you almost crashed the car, I can't. You can drive when you're 15 in America, can't you?
Yeah. I'm 14, so in a year I'll be able to drive. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, that's cool. So you can do more. No, it's over here because we can't fathom that because you've got to be 18 in the UK.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it just doesn't, because whenever I've been to the States, sorry, I'll just deviate there. Whenever I go to the States, and obviously I see, you see high school kids driving to school, which is fine. Obviously that's not a problem. But then when you're sitting there thinking, oh my God, like it makes you feel really old because that's just a British thing. I mean, you did start out as a young age. I mean, you're still young. Obviously, you've got a whole life and career ahead of you.
Yeah.
You started out at the age 6, I believe, playing in bands and things like that. How have you found that practice and performing in bands has aided you with being on set performing?
I mean, it really did. I mean, I used to join the band, which is this little like group I used to do with all my friends and play like in 5 bands. And I used to be a drummer, so I still play drums, but I used to have horrible stage fright. I used to be super like shy back when I was little, but playing in these bands and doing like these plays just like turned me into this like new person. Where now I love being on stage, I love performing, and I love just being there, getting that like just butterflies feel great. It's just the best feeling ever when you're just like in front of a bunch of people and they're all watching you. I don't know, some people hate it, but I love it. It's great.
Excellent. I mean, my son does drumming. He's 11 at the moment, and he's kind of the same thing. He's in a band, but he gets stage fright as well. I'm trying to tell him, so this would be great for him. I'll show him and say, look, this is how you started out, and now you've landed like as a recurring character in one of the biggest shows in the world at the moment.
Yeah.
So exactly, that's what. And you are right. I mean, I used to act when I was in in high school as well, and I loved. There is this adrenaline, isn't there, of just going out in front of people.
It's just so hard to describe. You just feel it. Yeah, it's great.
You sit there, the minutes before, and you're just sitting there, and your butterflies, and you're like, am I gonna cock it up? Then you get out there, and it's like,
I recently just did a show with one of my bands, and I was singing and playing bass, and I forgot all the words. Which was really funny. So I just go blah 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 the whole time and just making up whatever. No one knew, and I was just laughing, and it was just the best thing. It was great. Everyone was laughing, but since it's happened so many times that we just continue playing, and it was awesome and hilarious.
I'm pretty sure the Rolling Stones have done that on many occasions, so don't worry.
Yeah.
and top bands, you know, I'm sure that happens quite a lot. I'm sure. I know it happens on stage acting because people I speak to and stuff. They just, you know, the amount of times that they just decide to make up what they're doing. You just have a moment of like, ooh,
yeah.
You know, what am I supposed to do? Okay. One thing I've got to ask though about your music again is why the ukulele? Because I see you started to do it. I don't know if you still do it or not.
I still do play ukulele. It's just something. Okay, so like my best friend got a ukulele, so I had to get one because you know I played it and I like nailed it. I played like a song in like 5 minutes.
Right.
I'm like, this is great. So now every time I go camping, I take it with me. I go out of the country, I take it with me. It's just something I can take anywhere when I want to play music. When I can't bring my 10,000-pound drum kit.
Yeah. I can understand that totally.
Yeah.
Like I say, my dad was a drummer as well. So he's left his drum kit for my son, and that's just sitting in the dining room at the moment, taking up half the room, and it's like, because it's a full, you know, like yourself, it's a full size kit, so it's just like, where does that go? You can't take it anywhere. You're right. But no, sorry, I mean ukulele for us in Brits. I don't know, George Formby. He's like, I used well before my time, but that's the first thing I read was like, it goes through my mind when I'm cleaning windows. You know, it's that. But yeah, so it's a great. It is a great thing. It's a Hawaiian, isn't it? A ukulele? No, that's the. It's something similar, isn't it? The Hawaiian one.
The Hawaii, ukulele, it's Hawaiian. I think it was like actually not originally Hawaiian, and then like 50 years ago, they like Hawaiian heard it, and then they had to make it their instrument. So I don't know where it was originally from, but it wasn't originally from Hawaii, which is actually, I don't know, I'm surprised because it's just it's got that distinct sound. Like every time I go to Hawaii, you just hear the in the background.
Skirts and cool. I'm sorry. So what's your thing, moving music again before? I mean, people asking what's your favourite band and genre?
Okay, my favorite band. No one believes this, but my favorite band right now has to be Rush. It's a band from the 70s. I like hard rock and just all that crazy, weird, intricate guitar and drum stuff that no one else likes. I mean, I like pop too, but if I had to choose anything, it'd have to be 70s rock and roll.
Yeah,
that's the way to go.
Very good.
All the drums now are just so synthetic. Like they're all like the drums. You just try to play like one of those like new pop songs. It just sounds horrible. But back to those old like Rush ages, you just have all those guitar solos and drum solos and just it's crazy cool.
Oh yeah. No. I mean, I'm a 70s kid myself, or 80s kid, but that's the right music. It's perfect. It's you've got them all there, and I mean, Queen's my favourite. To be, I absolutely adore Queen. Yeah. Some of those guitar solos, and like I say, the drum solos on it are just. It's proper music, not like today.
90s too. 90s is cool. Like 90s grunge and 70s. Those are two go-tos. They're great.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, 90s Britpop as well. Like you got Oasis and Blur and stuff as well. And that was some good.
Oasis. I have don't look back in anger in my head right now. I'm trying to learn it on guitar. It's stuck in my. You hear it once and then you're like, oh, I can't get it out of my head. It's great. The Beatles are also like they have all those songs that just you can't get them out of your head, and they're all so good and also like new and distinct that like no one else no other band plays like that, just the Beatles. So
yeah, they've got I live quite near to when I'm home, not in London, to Liverpool. I'm about 40 minutes away from Liverpool. I used to work there, and that's the Beatles are still obviously huge there as well. It's a big museum. It's a great music. Going to the Cavern Club. I watched a bootleg Beatles. I think they were. It was obviously a tribute band, really good one. Yeah. In the Cavern Club where the Beatles originally played, and it was just that was superb because you're right. It's the acoustics of everything was working so well.
Definitely.
And not synthetic.
Mm-hmm.
Or synthesized. Synthetic, God. See, this is how old I am. Oh, brilliant. So, besides Lethal Weapon, of course, what is your favourite TV show?
Lethal Weapon is good, but on Netflix, I've been watching this show called Lost in Space.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
I love that show. I got into it, like our whole family watched it, and like this big TV with surround sound, and the 4K, just the space. It's amazing. I really hope they come out with season 2 because season 1 we're almost finished with it, and it's great. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is. I can't remember. I think we finished. Finished the whole season watching that. I binge watched it last week. I think it was. It's 14 episodes. I might not be, and there might be a couple more coming. But yeah, no, it's really good. There was I think because I remember the original as well. Your mum and dad probably do as well. So I was trying to. I've never really stuck. Oh, you froze. Yeah, I've never really stuck with the original. So it's nice to see. So the robot was so well done. I thought on that one. It was really, and the storylines were great. So yeah, no, that's a good show. I've just got into Siren myself.
Oh yeah, Siren.
Yeah,
I've heard about it. Well, a lot of my friends watch it. I think I'm gonna have to start watching it because it's gotten good reviews and it looks really cool.
It does. Yeah, I've actually just tweeted out to the cast to say please come on the
show. Yeah.
I mean. Yeah, thanks. Also in the middle of the Lucifer campaign, you've probably to bring back. Oh God, I can't believe they canned that for football.
Yeah.
Sorry, American football, so rugby for me. Rugby with pads, that's all it is. That's my little dig at American football. I couldn't play it either way. I just get lost when I watch it. I just tried to watch it once, and obviously coming from a British point of view, seeing all these different. Every time they stop, they get the ball, they run 10 yards. Right, no, stop, let's carry on.
Yeah.
I just forget it. Can't too much for my little brain. If you could be anything else in life, what would it be?
Has to be a musician of some kind. Like my dream is to be a guitar player / singer in a really good rock and roll successful band. That would be my dream, probably.
Okay, excellent.
Besides acting.
Yeah, I kind of guessed that from your musical background. I was thinking that's probably the way you're going to go.
Yeah.
Excellent. Would you ever consider theatre work? Have you done theatre work yourself?
I have done theater work. I did a play in 7th grade, 7th grade play, and I was great. I mean, I made everyone laugh, but I think acting on camera is still my favorite. Theater is great as well. Like theater it's live. So if you mess up, it's like you just got to keep rolling. But like acting wise, if you're doing it in front of a camera, you can just keep going and going. But I prefer acting in front of camera much more. But I still like theater.
Okay, fair enough. It's nice. I get loads of diverse answers from people I talk to on that because a lot of people do prefer the screen because it's I don't know. They're chalk and cheese. There's so many different aspects about it. I love the theatre. I always go to the theatre and I smell it. I just sit there and think I want to be on stage and just sit there and put myself in. You can get a lot. I think you can get immersed a lot more with theatre. Well, mind you saying that again. Look how addicted we are to Lethal Weapon, and you get completely immersed in the characters of the stories there. So never mind. So you're still at school as well. Hence we're doing this on a Sunday because you're at school during the week. How do you juggle that? Because when you're on set and filming, because obviously that's a rigorous schedule as well. How do you manage that between the two?
Well, Lethal Weapon is great because I say I only shoot 2 days out of the month. So it's like it doesn't affect school. Maybe I miss like 1 or 2 days a month, but that's it. Like I say, I go to set for 10 hours or 9 hours for 1 day, and I film like a whole episode of my stuff, and it's great because you're there for 1 day and you see yourself on TV. I mean, it's totally worth it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it's something to go back to school about and say, oh, by the way, lads, look what I'm on tomorrow. Just keep an eye out on what is it on Fox tomorrow, whatever it is, and you'll see me. It must be a nice feeling to have that.
It really is. The first time I saw myself, I was like, oh my god, like that's so weird. It was the weirdest thing ever because. I don't know, it was just so weird. All my friends, because I was on Snapchat, all my friends were like Snapchatting, oh my gosh, you're on TV, oh my gosh, you're so cool, oh my gosh. Yeah. And it was the weirdest thing, but I eventually got used to it. But in the beginning, I was like, this is so weird. But after a while, you kind of get used to it, and it's kind of cool watching yourself.
Yeah, I can imagine. You can sort of you get used to it. I know people who don't want to watch it back. I actually did a film last year, and they showed me the clip that I was in. And I just had my head in my hands going, oh my god. I had a few lines in it. It wasn't a big thing. It's an independent film in the UK. And but it's still big for me. So I was just like, I just sat there. I was like, oh god, no. So yeah. But again, it's something you learn from. I mean, again, someone, as young as you, to land this kind of a role as well. This is what, it must feel so it's going to set you up for the future. Because this is a huge stepping stone in a career, obviously, hopefully a long-lasting career for you. So it'll be, to work with such fine people like Clayne, Damon, Keisha, and all of those guys.
Klain and Rex Lynn I've been with them the most.
I was going to say you wouldn't have worked with Damon, would you? Because you're Riggs, not the old one.
Klain and Rex Lynn are the nicest people I've ever met.
Yeah.
Rex, the first time I saw him, he called me into his trailer and he wanted to do lines with me. He's like, he taught me so much. We talked about drums for an hour and a half. It was great. John Bonham and Led Zeppelin solos, and then Klain is the nicest guy. He was telling stories the whole time, making us laugh, and he was a great director during his director debut. It's awesome.
Excellent. I was going to ask you a bit later about Rex actually, because I know Klain mentioned, obviously talked about him, how different he is from his character. I mean, I know him back from when he was in CSI Miami and stuff. So yeah, I knew obviously he's an actor. That's not who you are. So Klain couldn't sing his praises enough about what kind of a person he was. Did you actually find it hard at all? Because I mean, obviously it's acting's about roles and stuff. So did you find it hard seeing him every now and then in that bad light and having to think of him in that way when you know him as something different?
Well, he's just such a good actor and he's such a nice guy. We both have this ability to go into like a different place. Like, one time we were filming in this scene, and then it was where my mom died. We were screaming and both crying. He was like beating me up. And then right when we turned the corner and they called cut, me and him just like looked at each other, just gave ourselves like a high five. We're like, yeah! And we just get into this like excited mood, and then it's like 3, 2, 1 action. We're like in this like depressing mood, and then we have to do the thing, and then we're like cut, and like, yeah, that was awesome. So we're those kind of people that just go back and forth into these two positions.
Excellent. That does sound really good, and sort of a great relationship to have on set and everything like that as well. And so I'll skip right ahead with this one as well, because obviously we mentioned Klain. I mean, the episode when I spoke to him as well, we talked about you, and he praised you quite a lot in that, which you've heard anyway. And that was because that was the episode, I guess. I think he said that was really one of the first times he'd actually got to work with you, because he was directing the show. So how was that? How did you feel, sort of being on set, even though he's a director, being on set with the older self?
I think it was great because the way he was directing me, he's like, what would I do? Because I watched the show, and it's kind of cool seeing your older self and just knowing what he's thinking, and you have to like think what he's thinking and do what he's doing, and you just just having the older you directing what you do next is the coolest thing, because I don't know, it was just so cool seeing Klain, like your older self, and you just think, I don't know, it's just the coolest thing. You can't really describe it. It's just awesome.
Well, no, I can imagine it's really good. I mean, Liz Evans, who's a fan, she actually asked, did you take any notes from Klain's performance of Riggs to help with your portrayal of the character?
Yes, when I first got it, I went home and just binged Lethal Weapon again, because it was crazy. I started watching Lethal Weapon the week before I actually got the audition, which is completely crazy. So, I mean, after I got it, I was watching it and watching everything he did. Like, sometimes when I got nervous, he would scratch the back of his neck, or maybe he would, just have, like, that look on his face. So I would do that, but after a while, it came naturally.
Excellent. Did you watch the films as well, or just the series?
I haven't watched the films yet. I mean, I know. I need to watch the film.
Yeah, I mean, I keep messing around with Klain for that, because I think when I spoke to him last year as well, and I mentioned I said I started out thinking, well, loved the films, and Klain admitted last year he thought it was going to flop when they first did it, because everyone loves the film so much, and he's a huge fan, and he still shouted blasphemy to me this time when I told him. It's like, I actually think the series, because it develops the character more, so the series is better. And he still ridiculed me for that as well, for saying that the show's better than but it is in a different way. But you should watch the films; they're great. I'm hopefully meeting Danny Glover next month, in a few weeks' time.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, he's coming to a Comic-Con over here, so I've asked for a press pass, and I've got my business cards. That's how one of the ways you make business: go to Comic-Cons and give the business cards and just beg people.
Yeah.
Who else would you love to work with then? Moving on. If you could work with anybody, who would it be?
I could work with anybody?
Yeah.
I would love to work with, I don't know, there's so many good actors. I think Johnny Depp. If I had to choose anyone, it'd have to be Johnny Depp, because he's just, I don't know, he's just such a cool character. It's either Johnny Depp or Harrison Ford, because they have that distinct character they play. That's just so cool. I think it's like they're just such a badass all the time, and it's so cool. Yeah,
I was going to say, I hear Harrison Ford is quite tricky offset as well. Just the way he is and stuff like that. So, but he's just a legend. and Johnny Depp as well. I mean, I think the Pirates movies, you just could never imagine anyone else playing Jack Sparrow. He's just nailed that role so well. And you just, it's you just there's nothing else you can say. It's Johnny Depp, so no, that's a good choice. And even everything else he does, like the Mad Hatter and everything, it's like it's really just versatile.
Who would you work with if you had to choose?
Oh damn, that's a good question. Thanks. Now you've thrown me. People don't ask me questions. I'd love. There are so many.
I know it's like, oh man.
Yeah, where do you start? Tell you who I'd really, really love to work with, and that'll be Al Pacino. If I could get into acting and get myself into the acting properly, like I want to, Al Pacino. Who else? There's so many.
I know.
Yeah. Al Pacino and Robert De Niro, because of the Goodfellas and the mobster type stuff. And there's plenty of others. Johnny Depp and.
Yeah,
the list goes on. Clay, Damon, there's a lot of them, Excellent. So how did you find it on set then yourself when you're working? Obviously spoke about Rex and the way he helped you and Clay. And what about everyone else? I mean, what was it like working on set of Lethal Weapon? Were you overawed at times, or?
Well, working on the set is great. I just get there, and doing it not on the set and doing it on the set is way different. People don't think that, but if you're rehearsing, that's not on the set. It doesn't feel natural. But when you get on the set and then you see Rex and then you see all the cameras, it just feels natural, and you just go into that acting state. It's weird when the director calls action, the cameras disappear and I just don't see them anymore, and I just see the scene, and I don't think of my lines. I just think, well, what am I going to say? It's just at this point where it feels really natural, because I've been this character for a while now, and I mean, I love it. It's great working on set. Yeah.
Excellent. Are there any funny moments that happen on set that you can tell us about that obviously don't make, they get outtakes that you're allowed to talk about?
There's a couple funny. One time I was getting lunch, and then I was walking. So we have this thing called the Cube, and you eat lunch in it, and I was walking down the stairs, and I was walking with my friend, and I tripped and fell, and I dropped all my food, and then it was kind of embarrassing, but it was really funny. It was worth the fall. It was worth it, because Sophia Woodward, she plays young Molly, and then she was laughing, I was laughing. It was awesome, but it was embarrassing, but it was worth it.
Yeah, excellent. And Molly's a great character as well. So from your point of view, obviously, as a fan as well as is in it, would you love to see that relationship between Molly and Riggs flourish even more? Because I love those two together. I think they're brilliant. Yeah.
I really would. I mean, when I was reading the script, when I had to sit by the river and skip the rocks, I really thought we were going to, something was going to happen. I didn't know what, but I knew something was going to happen. And I got excited. I'm like, finally, I've been waiting for this. And then nothing. I was like, but at least we know they get together older. I mean, that's all that matters. They still get together, which is good.
Yeah, it is. I think we've just had the episode barbecue van, and they went to Myrtle's out. They had to get that dinner and everything for Trish, and it was just brilliant. I just love the chemistry that everyone has together on that set. I think that's what makes Lethal Weapon so good.
It's so realistic and great. Yeah.
Everybody has, there is such a great chemistry going on between all the cast, and you can tell that comes through. And even in the flashbacks it works with you and Rex and everything, because those scenes are so well done. They're so powerful as well. Because
thank you.
I can imagine, because it must be hard, because you know what the older Riggs has gone through, and as a younger Riggs, where the path is leading to, in the fact that you end up shooting him. So that must be a tough role to play in itself. I mean, we've touched on it itself, so that must be quite tough to sort of play that troubled mind as well. Yeah,
I mean, it's a character. It's the opposite of me. I'm always that funny kid, and the one that's the jock, and all the other stuff. But this time I get to be the mind corrupt kid, which I think is really fun to play, because it's the opposite of me. I'm not used to playing this role, but I think it's more fun playing roles that I usually don't play and I've never played before, because it's so much better, I think, because it's just got that, I don't know how to describe it. It's just, it's just cool. I don't know, it's just cool.
And gets you out of your comfort zone, I guess, and that's what makes, I think, that's...
Really, because, exactly. You step out of your comfort zone, and it's just this new character you have to develop and feel for him, and then it leads to, I don't know, it's just awesome.
Yeah, and it helps you as well as an actor, because, I mean, landing a role where you are so out of your own character, out of your own comfort zone, and you're having to think outside the box and everything like that, more so, because, I mean, I guess there are some roles when you're young and the characters are very similar to you in real life, and that doesn't matter. As you go through your career, that's the same. You probably, you can start, and as you develop, as say you're only 14, so as you develop now, you've landed such a role at this age that you can work on it and take away so much from from the show and from this experience, and just put that into developing as you go on. Yeah,
thank you. It's great.
You can overtake your dad and your mum.
I hope so. One day.
Yeah, but and it's true. You get there, and it's all about working and developing and stuff. And that's it's something I see and speak to a lot. Is every single show or every single thing that someone does, there's something that you've taken away and learnt on. So, in a long way, that's a really, really, really long road to get to this question. Is what would you take? Sorry, you've heard me. I like talking, and I'm British. I talk around the bush for so long to actually get to the point. And what have you learnt most about the show? What have you? What could you in yourself? What's the biggest thing you've developed in yourself to take away?
I've just learned to become a better actor. Like, just the more practice and the more I try, the more scripts, just the better actor I become. So the more shows I do, hopefully I'll get better and better, and once overpower my dad, like you said.
Brilliant. And I know, obviously, moving away from Lethal Weapon, I'm sort of going to the sort of closing questions now. You've got another film. Coming out at the moment. Is it a film? White Racist Zombie?
Yeah,
now, is this a family? Because I mean, I've looked and you're in it. Your mum and your dad are in it as well. So that must be pretty cool.
My dad's friend Wayne wrote this script, and I read it, and I thought it's hilarious. I play a short little role of a zombie, but I think it's the funniest thing ever. We have the trailer. I saw it, and I was dying of laughter. It is honestly one of the best movies, and I cannot wait for it to be done. So. Yeah, hopefully it comes out soon, because I cannot wait to see it.
Excellent. I just noticed it there, and then I saw you saw your mum's name and dad's name again. So how does it feel working with your parents in a film?
It's like cool, but like also like not, because it's cool because you get to work with your family and see how they do it. But it's kind of not, because they're like kind of in charge of you. Like, nope, you gotta do this. But I'm like, oh, do this. It's weird but it's great. It's great.
Yeah,
working with your family is the coolest thing.
Yeah, I can imagine it's just an extension of home life, really, isn't it?
It pretty much is. Like, we always have auditions. We always drive there together. Sometimes we have auditions in the same spot. My little brother does too. One time, like last year, all of us had an audition at the same day. We all had to drive each other's audition. It was cool. It was worth it though. But it's great having a family of all actors and musicians, because.
Yeah, I can see why that's
full of creativity.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, and I guess as well, because I know a lot of the time, a lot of people I speak to, a lot of the actors I speak to, there's so much heartache with acting. And, I mean, and so many turn downs, and I always say I can kind of relate, because doing this show, the amount of time I get a decent guest like yourself on the show to talk to and have a good laugh with, there's about 100 who haven't responded, or they just don't respond, or they just say, or blanket no. And I will name drop with Sir Ian McKellen's publicist. Sir Ian McKellen would rather not be interviewed by you on your show. And it was like, that's blunt, man. Come on, seriously, flower it around a little. Just say he's unavailable, like everyone else says he's unavailable. No, you just got to come right out and say it. And it does. It hurts. And I can, for every time you get a role like Lethal Weapon, and there's so many other things where it's not worked out and auditions haven't. So being an acting family, you all understand that, and I guess there's a good support network for you. Yeah.
Well, the way I think of it is, it's not you that's the problem. It's the people that choose, because like there's so many types that go in for an audition. Like there's just like blonde hair, brown hair, just a bunch of just crazy different types that go in for one role. and sometimes they go completely opposite of you. Like one time I auditioned for this kid that had brown hair and brown eyes, and then this kid got with blonde hair and blue eyes. So it really just depends what the character they're looking for. Like they can completely just change what they're looking for, like in a snap. It's crazy.
Yeah, definitely, and I've seen that a few times. Spoken to so many people who've had that same experience, and you know, they sit in the they sit in the audition room, they see the other people going, and it's just like, so totally diverse, and
the person. It's great though. It's cool.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's a huge experience, and it's like. I mean, auditions are just like job interviews, because my main job is IT. I'm trying to push it into the entertainment. That's hence why I'm doing this now. And get into the entertainment industry. But I've been working IT for God knows how many. Oh God, how old am I? 20 years now. So yeah, it's a nice change of career for this. What I'm hoping to do, but. It's just like job interviews. It's like auditions are job interviews. If I go for job interviews, don't get the job. You put it down to experience. You learn feedback. Get the feedback. You learn from that and change it for the future and see what and adapt. Adaptability, I think, is adaptability and passion.
Yeah, I mean, I see acting as not a job. Like everyone that does acting, they're like, "Oh yeah, acting's a job, and auditions are part of your job." But I see it as just fun. Like it's optional for me. I don't have to have a job yet, so I mean, I do it because it's fun. Like, I don't think of it as a job. I just think of it as having fun because it's something I really enjoy doing. And every time I get an audition, I get really excited and I work on it really hard, and I hope I get it. So, yeah.
Exactly, that's the way to look at it, and that's the way to carry on looking at it as well. And I think because it's a passion that everyone I speak to has, and it's only that passion that I think people, their love for acting and the love for what they're doing, and it never actually feels like a job at all. And that's kind of, in my respect, when I'm trying to go to do this, if I wanted to do this professionally, I'm kind of worried I might end up losing the fun aspect, because I just enjoy coming, I make anything from this, so I just sit here and enjoy chatting to people and enjoy obviously reaching out and talking.
All that matters. It's all that matters is having fun.
Exactly. At the end of the day, that is it. That's what it's all about, having fun and enjoying yourself, and to be in a place where you don't have to think of it as a job. It's a good place to be. Right, now the question you've probably been dreading now, Chase. Right, so this be interesting. See how you compare with your older rigs. Is because bear in mind I want an impression as well, because he gave me one. So if you could have a Muppet character created after you, what could it be and why?
A Muppet character, as in like.
Kermit, Miss Piggy, anything like that, yeah.
Kermit the Frog, all the way.
Fair enough.
I think Kermit the Frog is the coolest. Like, he's just awesome. Like, he's cool. He's green. He's a frog. He's hilarious. He's good. Hello, Kermit the Frog here, and then the Miss Piggy, Kermit. They're great. They're hilarious, and I don't know. I've been watching the Muppets since I was like 4, so
yeah.
I love Kermit the Frog. He's always been my favorite.
Fantastic, that's really cool. I actually was watching a TV yesterday and I switched it off, and it was the Muppet movie, the original Muppet movie.
Yeah.
And it was the song. I've got it recorded somewhere on. Do you know that app Smule? Do you have
that?
Yeah, I use that all the time, and there's one on there. I just joke around on it. I sung the Bare Necessities as Baloo the Bear. I did the Rainbow Connection as Kermit, so it's like, why are there so many songs about rainbows? And I did that, and it just happened to be that song, and I was like, oh, that's mine. I freaked out. I've actually got a request in as well, because the reason I asked that is that I had a guy on last year. He's been a puppeteer. He's done basically. He's had his hand up Miss Piggy and Kermit, to put it bluntly, for years with Jim Henson, and he came on the show. He did 9 Numb in Return of the Jedi, but he was on, and someone asked him. But I've actually got a request in at the moment with the Muppet Show, because they're coming to London. And they're doing a press tour, so I've actually requested to see whether I could come and interview the Muppets themselves.
So cool.
And I was just like, that'd be, because I mean, they've been around since I was like 4 years old. So, it's just, that'd be a dream come true. I know it's all these actors like yourself, like Clay and everybody around. Nope, it's got to be Kermit and Miss Piggy would be the highlight. I did a video as well once with, there was a girl, it was a a schoolgirl and she was seriously ill, and she was looking for people to come on and say. And I got a few people to do it, but one of them I just put a picture of Miss Piggy and Kermit up, and I did my Miss Piggy and Kermit, and the people in her class who heard it were apparently turned around. The Muppets, that's big time. That is. They thought it was the real one. I was like, get in, Chris.
Your Kermit impression is really good.
Thank you. I've been working on Gonzo as well, because it's pretty much Yoda without the inflection. So it's like, the Marleys were dead to begin with, but that's not. It's getting there. Sounds
kind of animal.
Yeah, drummer. Yeah, no, that's a good animal. But yeah, no, yeah, Gonzo's a work in progress, because I started with Yoda like. When 900 years old, you each look as good. You will not. So Gonzo's the other way around. I just can't get it, because every time I try and speak Gonzo, it sounds like Yoda. But it was the same guy. I can't remember his name. Not Frank Oz. It was the other guy. Never mind.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Oh, no, it escapes me. Anyway, so sorry, complete diversion there. If there's anything you'd like to say to people who are listening and watching this, Chase, what would it be?
Thank you for watching Lethal Weapon. Keep tuned in and make sure to follow Chris, Hellblazer Biz, and then follow my Instagram, Chase Mangum Official.
Thank you so much, Chase. That was absolutely fantastic. Thanks to your mum, Leia, for helping to organise that as well. Really appreciate it. Sorry for the darkness. I've lost my light. You have been watching Hellblazer Biz with the Lethal Weapons, Chase Mangum. Hope you all stay tuned. Please subscribe to me on YouTube or iTunes and tunein.com. Follow me on Twitter and on Facebook. Just search Hellblazer Biz and you'll find me. I hope you've all enjoyed that. Thank you very much. This has been Chris Gordon on Hellblazer Biz, signing out.